read obviously that the pair of you met on a sound engineering course together. Do you think that's kind of influenced the way you write a bit, being sound engineers? Do you think you kind of think a bit more about live at all, or does that have an impact?
That's a really good question. Yeah, I think it definitely helps us when we're going into the studio, because we kind of know some of the recording techniques like that maybe the engineer's going to use anyway. So yeah, I definitely think it would help. It helps when we go into the studio, and
yeah, I don't think we took a lot from sound engineer because we both dropped out, so it wasn't. So
I kind of wish we'd both stuck at it a wee bit more, because we would be able to do. I feel like we'd be able to do stuff quicker.
It's definitely influenced in a way, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was great, but we were both like young and just like we like loved jamming, so we just like dropped out.
I think you can make a lot of like use of multiple amps and obviously like samples and stuff to create a bigger sound. I think there's a lot you can do with two people instead of.
Yeah, it took us a while to get to that. We originally it was just drums, one vocal,
one amp,
and one amp with one guitar amp, and we loved it. We loved doing it like that. But then we added in a bass amp, and then Mikey brought in the SPD pads, so he can load up sort of whatever sounds he wants onto that. It's great, like drum sounds or loops or whatever. And then we added in the extra amp as well. I got these guys to build me like a wee splitter pedal, so we can sort of cycle through the different amps. It's a lot of fun.
Rehearsal,
Yeah.
like not having to discuss, text 4 people to arrange. It's just 2 of us.
Yeah. It's like,
and it's hard in that sometimes. I don't know how other bands do it.
Yeah. I used to be in a band, like we both used to be in bands before, and I was in a band with 4 people, and if someone was working, then it was kind of fucked. But with 2 people, it's easy peasy. And also just like you can I feel like you can lock in a wee bit better as well when you're writing and like practicing. You're just both focusing on what the other one is playing instead of listening to loads of different instruments. If you get what I mean.
I mean, looking at the first single you put out the road, it obviously got such a good reaction when it came out, and it was the first single.
That's a good one. I think it did, because we actually used to play like the music we used to play originally was actually a lot different to what we play now. It used to be a lot more sort of sparse, and it wasn't as like methodic and like driving. It was more chilled.
We didn't like develop our sound, like it took a while to develop what we wanted to sound like.
Yeah.
Especially I think,
But then when we brought out the road, and some reviewer guy was like, "Oh, it's so like krautrocky." And then we kind of actually got, like, while we were recording the road, the guy who was recording us, Andy Monaghan, was like, "This is so like this band Noi." And we'd never listened to them, and then we went and listened to them, and we were like, "Oh my god, these are amazing."
Yeah.
Like this like krautrock band from the 70s, so good. So yeah, it actually did the release, like the road actually changed sort of the way we then wrote a wee bit. But we're going back to our roots a wee bit sometimes with new tunes that we're writing.
I mean, take it back to playing live as well. In terms of playing live, that's got quite a big impact on it.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we play, a lot of songs are not recorded yet, so I think, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's really fun like playing new songs. I love playing new songs live, and then seeing people's like reactions to it, and you can kind of gauge like, oh, maybe that bit needs a bit more of this or whatever. What we do when we're practicing and like writing new tunes is we record it onto our phones and then listen to the recording of it and try and develop the tune when we go back in. Yeah.
And as people before as well, you've used like a visual element in your approach. How did that stage out?
Well, it was the same. It was the same 2 guys. So it's our mates, Sean and Cammy, both really talented. They did that video for Ride the Waves. It was just filmed in Sean's bedroom, my bedroom, and then just like Cammy did some sort of shots of the sea and stuff. But they both used to be in a band together, and then they used to just sort of play a loop behind us, which was just sort of, they used to make these visuals with like dropping oil into paint and stuff, and then just zooming really far in and filming that, and then they've totally developed it now. They use a thing called Resolute. It's so cool, and they just make all the visuals in the flat.
It's completely changed the game of the live performance.
Yeah.
Like, it's just completely changes it. It's just a journey. That's what we've always wanted to be for people as well.
Yeah, totally.
You listen to the music to be a journey. So
and now they just it's amazing. It's so cool as well. You get to see clips of it on stage and you're like, that looks amazing.
Because it's live as well. They're like a third and fourth member. You know what I mean? Because they're both doing it. So it's.
And we've now got our mate Javan doing lights for us as well, and so he works with them and figures out which lights are going to work best. So it's like a proper now team.
Slowly getting there to the full production.
It's fun though. So much more fun playing with visuals and lights when you know it looks amazing behind you. It's really good.
Confidence.
Yeah.
You think it enhances the music at all for the people in the crowd?
Yeah,
100%,
definitely.
yeah.
Especially nowadays as well. People as an attention span. You need. I feel like people need things to watch to go along with music and that. And I think people really like them. There's always a really good response to the visuals. The crowd.
Has it developed quite a lot? Like the stuff that is going on stage behind you, the actual visuals themselves.
They change pretty much every gig. They're constantly working on new stuff, and it's completely changing the game.
Sometimes we haven't
better every time as well. It's just
sometimes we haven't seen the stuff that they've.
Yeah, until we play it, we're like, whoa! That's why I'm out the ground and I'm looking at them, trying to play and see it. It's so cool.
They've got this new thing tonight where it's this massive moon, and it looks like it's sort of I don't know, sort of all acidy, and that's really cool. Excited.
I was looking to the studio as well. When you guys are in the studio, what are you like? Is there a lot of experimentation and changing, or is it all very old now?
Yeah, definitely. I think when we recorded the album, which is recorded now, because we had our own sort of booth, so I had me and Gal, one of the guys that we recorded with, had our own synth chamber going on, so could work on different sounds and forward back and forth to different computers, and then just sort of see what works. And so many things develop, especially some of the tracks that you would never ever thought would come into it, and you're thinking it's becomes one of the main parts, and it develops in the studio. That's what's beautiful about doing it in the studio like that.
Totally. When we went in to do the album, we wanted to be really, really prepared. So we'd worked on the songs loads and had all the parts down. But then when you go into the studio and you start actually recording it, and then you someone suggests an overdub, of a guitar, and then it just brings the whole changes the game. And so sometimes you actually come up with the best things in the studio, and you can be as prepared as you want, but then you can bring something new to the mix, and it makes it a lot better. That's happened quite a few times, to be honest.
Do you play live together in the studio, or is it all one at a time?
Yeah.
Bass and drums at the start, use our guitar and drums, and getting that locked in.
Yeah.
And then a lot of reamping, because it's only two of us, so you don't want to sound like there's 1,000 people playing on it.
Because you can, when you're overdubbing, we don't want it to sound like I'm playing the guitar 5 times, or or there's 5 people playing the guitar. So what you do is you then just send the channel, the signal that you've already recorded, back through an amp, and just record that again through a different amp and get a different tone. But it's exactly the same track, so it's gonna be locked in, really tight.
So
simulating multiple amps.
Yeah, exactly.
What we would do live anyway.
Yeah.
So would you say you're quite hands-on then in terms of the production of the tunes and everything? You guys quite involved,
Yeah.
We
just don't operate the computer, but we both.
Yeah, and the producers we worked with have brought loads to the table as well. Yeah. But we both kind of have an idea of what we want it to sound like, so which I think is really handy. I think, I think maybe what you asked earlier with the sound production course, if that helped. I think it definitely did, because we were both really interested in the sound of the actual music. How the record sounds. So it does help.
I'm just actually on that to round it off. In terms of something a bit more general, what would you say your proudest of?
Oh, good question. We were actually talking about this yesterday, funnily, about one of the best shows. We played the Barrowlands with Twilight Sad years ago, when we were 19, and it was actually really funny. It was the first time either of us had ever been to the Barrows as well, and we were getting to play it. And it was so good, and to play with such an amazing band, and it was really special for them as well, because it was the first time they'd played the Barrows, so it was just this absolute vibe the whole night as well. It was just oh, this is so good. So that was class, and going on tour with Django and playing places like Berlin and stuff, and we definitely came back really much more confident and proud, and knowing people in Europe really liked the music as well. It was great. It was really good.
Thank you very much.
Man, that was the best interview we've had, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Questions wise.
Yeah.